Hey everyone, James here with Rokoko, and I'm back with another tutorial. This time I want to show you guys how to export out face capture data from Studio and import it to your characters in Blender. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you see, we already have a recording of our face capture data, and now all we need to do is just export it out of Studio. So in order to export it, we want to go down to our exporter, and it'll open up the export options box, and you just want to make sure that you have export face data checked, and also the format is set to FBX. BVH and CSV won't export out face data. So once you have it set to FBX, you can change your settings between ASCII and binary and the version of FBX. But once that's done, you can go ahead and click export, and it'll export out to your export path. So now that that's done, let's jump over to Blender and attach this to our character. Alright, so here we are in Blender, and as you see, we already have our character imported. And so what we want to do now is import our face capture data. So in order to do that, we want to go to File, Import, FBX, and then we'll just select our face capture data here and click Import FBX. You'll notice it'll go ahead and spawn in down here, but we can go ahead and adjust the scale if we need to. So click the scale button and then just drag to the left. And then we'll press enter to save that. And we can go ahead and drag this up further up here. And if we want to adjust this pivot to make it a bit closer, we can go ahead and just we'll click right here. And if you press spacebar, you can search set origin, and we'll click set origin, and then we'll click origin to 3D cursor, and it'll move the pivot right here. So it'll be much easier to move it around. Alright, so now since we've got this in, and we can go ahead and click on our face capture data, and you'll notice there's keys here. I can go ahead and expand this out so we can see the entire thing. And then you'll see all of the keyframe data, and if we hit play, it'll play the animation on our character. If it's playing in slow motion, you can go ahead and change this from it'll be set to no sync, but if you change it to AV sync, it'll go ahead and play faster for you. And so now what we want to do is essentially we want to copy this keyframe data on our face capture data to our character's blend shapes. And so in order to do that, we first need to set some keyframes on our character. So in order to do that, we want to click on the mesh that holds our blend shape data on our character, which is this. And then if we navigate over to our properties tab over here, and just make sure that you're under object data on this tab, you'll see under shape keys, we have all of these blend shapes here, but we don't have any keyframes. So if I go ahead and stop this, you'll notice when I click the face capture character, I have all these keyframes here, but if I click on our standard mesh, there's nothing here. So if we go ahead and let's start at frame 0, what we want to do is add one keyframe as a starting point for all of our blend shapes. So in order to do that, we want to right click on the 00 here and click insert keyframe. And so we're going to do this for all of our blend shapes here. Alright, so we've inserted a keyframe for all of our blend shapes. We also want to do the same thing for our eyes. Specifically just for this character, we have blend shape data on our eyes as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we'll just go ahead and let's first zero it out. And then once everything's zeroed out, we'll go ahead and do the same thing, insert keyframe. You just want to make sure that you are still on the free keyframe 0 as well. Okay, and once that's done, now we can go ahead and paste keyframe data here. So what we want to do next is open up our graph editor, and in order to do that, you just want to go ahead and click right here and drag over to the left to open a new window. And within this window, we're going to open the graph editor. So we click on this button down here and open graph editor, and then now you'll see this is our graph editor for our face capture data. So we can go ahead and zoom in. We'll click on our face capture, and then if we go ahead and expand this out, we can see all of the different values of the blend shapes. And so we essentially want to select everything and then copy it. So we currently have everything selected, but if you need help getting everything selected, you can go down to select and select all. And then once that's done, make sure your cursor is in this window, and you can do Control C or Command C. And now you copied all of the keyframes, and it says so right here. And if you go ahead and click on our standard mesh over here, you'll notice there's nothing here but that one keyframe that we've created. But hover your mouse over this, and then you can do Control V or Command V to paste. And now we've pasted this keyframe data here. And we can do the same thing for the eyes. So if we click on the eyes here, and then just make sure everything's expanded out, we'll go ahead and Control V here as well, so that we have keyframe data on our eyes. And so now if we go ahead and press the play button, you'll notice that our face is now moving to our face data. And so this is essentially how you go ahead and attach face data to your characters inside of Blender. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys mess around with face capture inside of Blender. Thanks for watching, guys.